Before there were cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio Cigars.
Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar. Radio Cigar.
All right, and we are live. We are live. This show is brought to you by Radio Cigars. You know, Doc, I know you told me you don't smoke cigars, but if you ever want me to send you one, if you just want to light it like incense or something, let me know. And I'll send you one, Doc. All right.
No doubt, brother. I'm looking forward.
All right. With that, we're gonna get straight into it, family. I know this show is a little later than usual. We're gonna get straight into it. I want to take this time to welcome to the platform one of the master teachers on the planet. That's a big statement. One of the master teachers on the planet, none other than Dr. Phil Valentine. Welcome back, Doc.
Thank you. Good to be back.
All right. Before we get into the topic tonight, did you get a chance to see the show yesterday? I did. The other day, I did with Shabazz, Sonetta, Chris.
I saw part of it. I was it was Brother King Simon. I saw his message late.
Okay.
That's how I was going to bed, and then I put on the show, and I got so enthralled, and it was going on, and then I fell asleep.
Oh man.
I put it on about 1 o'clock, and that's about the time I'm usually pogging out. So I'm going to get a chance to sit with it and actually kind of marinate with it a little bit later on.
Indeed. So like I said, before we even start the topic, Doc, with what was going on when you started getting into this information, what kind of inspired you to go the direction? Because I know, like, I don't know if you said you was going to be a music artist. I'm not sure. 'Cause I know Farrakhan said that, and that was the case with a lot of musicians and priests and Kemet. They go hand in hand. So what made you take the direction to go toward being a conscious teacher, speaker, lecturer, author, and such and so forth?
Well, betrayal first.
Ooh.
I had many contracts lined up. We had some top level people who were in management. We had the Beatles, the dude who brought the Beatles over.
Right.
He was one, and Rodney Dangerfield's wanted to expand into music. His manager, and we were down with it. And Papa Joe Scandori, he was going to hook us up, and then we gave a song to. It was I believe it was I don't want to say his name, but his first name was Peter. His last name started with L. He was doing the management and walking our music into Epic Records, and a very, very popular, highest album ever sold artist took one of my musical lines and created a #1 song from it. It was called Dr. Rock, but it became something else. I won't mention it.
Oh, come on, Doc. Damn, you can't bitch. Oh,
And let's just say that initials are MJ, and that
D
he
DMJ?
the MJ,
Oh my god.
and the name of the song was Dr. Rock. The bass line was reversed. The reverse of the bass line of Dr. Rock became Billie Jean, and that's just one of the betrayals. And that song, Dr. Rock, was actually written for Eddie Kendricks, because we met with him after a gig, and he was getting ready to do a new album before he passed, and we wrote it. We wanted to what we did, our live actual original music that we did. He liked, so we wanted to write a song for him, and based upon the song he wrote, "Boogie Down, Boogie." Ding, 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 ding. That moving bass line was the bass line for Dr. Rock, not that bass line, but a bass line called by Dr. Rock. And another one was by the Italian name for Mother, and she became big. She was looking for music, a six album deal that she had gotten with Electrosylum, and we met with her in Brooklyn, and she ripped a song that I wrote called Ambush. And next thing I heard, it was a song that was given to Kenny Rogers. He sang a song called Gambler, and part of that particular hook was mine, but he changed the word from ambush to gambler. So, I mean, I can go on
Yeah.
about that I have with music, and it's good to see though that I looked on YouTube, and there's a song, an old song I did when I was 18 years old in
Mm,
a basement, called "You Have Everything That a Man Could Love," and
mm.
so that you know what's the brother's name? Yazim. Um, he and another one who's the guy that married or was going with Tyrone. What's the name of
Erica Badu.
yeah, the guy who
Oh,
was with America Badu. He and what was his name? Mos Def did a song called Holiday, and they kind of took the bass line from that song, "You Have Everything," and so did one of the members of from Mobb Deep, I believe, and they sampled a lot of my music. So it was just frustration. And what took me into it finally was, usually during the time I would be doing gigs, I'd be reading on metaphysics. I'd be doing all kinds of stuff behind stage. And we had people like you heard a song called "Good Times."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, now Rogers was our guitar player.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we had a lot of powerful people that was with us at the time,
Yeah.
and and even that, that circle of entertainment. My wife, her book, which is I want to help my wife to get out there. She's got some incredible stuff. I want you to definitely talk with her as well. Her book was the foreword was actually written by Shaka Khan and her sister. So we're all in that particular orbit of music and entertainment. One of the Earth, Wind, and Fire's sons was my student at my university. I knew Maurice and so forth. So there's a lot of little history there. And the reason why it got to me was because we were betrayed by the manager that we had, the guy who brought the Beatles over, Sid Bernstein. He wanted to manage us, but the manager we had didn't work out, and that was another flaw. But what happened was I actually fell very sick because I was vaccinated when I was a child, and I always had a particular disease that I finally overcame. And I was almost crippled by it on the street, and I promised my ancestors, the Most High God, that if I could make it and die on my stoop in Brooklyn, where we had the gathering of the masses, if I could just die on the steps there, if I survive it, then I would teach everything that I've known all during the time I was studying metaphysics and so forth.
Wow.
And that became the
Wow.
litmus.
Amazing story. Everybody has such amazing stories. It's always good to hear everybody's story about how they got into this information. I want to get right into it, Doc. There's so much going on right now, and people are like, the overstimulation is on to the max right now.
Yeah.
But one of the things that obviously we'll just start with Iran. Everybody's talking about is what recently happened with Trump bombing Iran. I want to start out from because you are represent the metaphysical underground. I want to start off from a spiritual point of view before we go, because I know it's multi-layered, everything that happens. I've heard people on the internet say, because Iran is supposed to be ancient Persia.
Mhm.
I remember Bobby back in the day talking about after 9/11 when they ran up in Iraq. Bobby was saying that I don't know if he said there was a Stargate. There was something spiritual over there. Bobby was saying that they want. That's Iraq. Next to
Yeah.
Iraq is Iran. And what I'm hearing is that there's a Stargate 10 over there, and whoever controls that Stargate controls Earth and is being activated and all types of stuff I've been hearing. What is the spiritual component behind them wanting to get to Iran and them making an extreme move they made? The person that they killed, I think, is the Arab equivalent to the Pope. I'm not the Ayatollah, I think. I'm not sure what his name is. But can we touch on the spiritual component first about
Actually, yeah,
Iran?
you
Yeah.
actually the Islamic. He was the Islamic equivalent,
Okay. Right.
not the Arab, because the
Okay.
Persians aren't Arabs.
Okay. Okay.
So what happened is that there is a reckoning, a end of times reckoning for the beginning of times, and this had to be played out because what was forecast was that the filth that essentially were permeating below the surface would have to come to the surface before we made the change or the jump to light speed. Everything that the collective human body or the body of humanity needed in the form of a cleansing before the light could shine had to come from the most abased, the worst that we could ever possibly be. And that had to be what we are living through now. Matter of fact, we called upon this cleansing, this quickening, this reckoning, so that all those who were essentially primed for combat, which is the new you young people, and the ones that you're dealing with at this point, you all are primed for war, not the kind of war that we fought in the we had the we from where we came from was the war on ignorance. The war on ignorance was what we had to do. We were the ones archives that were buried and sequestered from us. We were the ones that were supposed, I mean, my generation and before with Dr. Ben and so forth, we were tasked with ripping open the crypt spiritually so that all that you're seeing happening today, as a matter of fact, reality, would come to the surface. Now, the war is begun on the physical realm because the young people today aren't going for what the old heads, especially the ones that we were battling, were putting down. You can't fool these young people today. Your generation and beyond are the ones that are ready for the war. Now, over there in Iraq and that area there where they're trying to get the greater Israel going, this is the desperate part where what's necessary is there is the religification of spirituality. That's what's happening today. everything about religion is under task now. Everything is now being exposed for what it is. That religion was actually a spiritual science, and they took it, and the most abased of creatures took it and literalized it. They took it and they made it into a weapon. Religion, or what we talk about, spirituality or resurrection, or the entire thing that we're dealing with, trying to ascend spiritually and consciously, they have taken it, and the weaponry used to divert the ascension process, that weaponry is religion. And it's now, this is the conversion process. This is the destruction of religion and the introduction and the awakening of spirituality. Everything that you see right now, everything that's getting ready to go to hell, the original Stargate is the pineal. And everybody is talking about the Stargate to take us from one to the other. Yeah, you can do that. The Stargate that's above us is the same Stargate that's relative within us, that's above us, which is the sun. That's why I tell everybody on June 21st, between the 21st and the 29th, you take a look at the sun and you'll see a lot of activity. And they never tell you that time, because that's the Stargate that entities use to go from one of the sequestered terrains to the other. The sun is a Stargate. It's not even here. It's actually beaming in from the fourth dimension, the same way as the moon. They're both plasma based. They're not solid. They're made of plasma. So the Stargate that we're talking about down on Earth is the one that they found in Iraq that simulated the sun.
Mm.
And it actually simulated the sun so you could walk through it, whereas you could use it, you can take it through there and up through the sun and out. But I know it sounds fanciful and crazy, and I don't want to get people to believe that somehow, it sounds crazy and nuts, but this is a science that our ancestors had already. Matter of fact, that's how they left. Why you think all these cities have been buried, and now they're finding all cities, and you're
Ooh.
finding out that this European, man, they left. The giants left. They left us to actually, we are very new souls in this particular ascension process. And we are now going through the crucible of fire to find out whether or not we'd be worthy to become the giants that we are within. And we are the experiment. We chose the experiment. We chose to be here. Now, the entities that you see that are the adversary, those entities were placed here just like you place a test for children and you place a test for gladiators. And that's exactly what you see today. The young people coming through, the ones that we're spawning, the ones that they're trying to kill off, the ones that they're trying to genocide, ain't gonna happen. And they're gonna be by their own means. You're gonna start seeing it happen. But we got a war to go through right now. And that's why Americans here, young people especially, are going to be on there. They have to be on their P's and Q's. You got to teach these young children that it's war. It isn't about all fluff and just spirituality. You got to have to deal with spiritual weapons as well. Spiritual weapons and physical weapons, the
Right.
way that the monks worked.
Right. Doc, I gotta ask you this: is it true or not? I don't think I asked you this before, but there's so much talk on the internet and TikTok and Instagram. A lot of people saying that, just on the topic of Stargates. Before we leave it, a lot of people say that there's a Stargate in the Grand Canyon that takes you right to Africa. So we was able to go right to Africa from America via the Grand Canyon, and that's part of the reason that they have it closed off, because they're hiding a Stargate from us. So what's
It's
the
not even
deal?
a It's not even a Stargate. You can walk there. The earth is not what we see. It's not what they give us. You can cross continents. You can cross from here to Africa. You can cross from here to Asia. They have underground tubes that work on electromagnetism. but you can walk, and it's been proven. I forgot the name of the person who actually walked from South America over to Africa. It's not how you said the way that they set up the map to make us believe that we are all separated
It's misleading.
is misleading. Just like they made Africa smaller than
Right.
America.
Right.
There is a connection there, and that what they don't want you to know is that there's a connection up to the Arctic, up to the North Pole. That North Pole has a serious whirlpool of magnetic energy there. That's where Black Rock got their name from. There's a gigantic mountain, magnetic mountain there. That's got this. Well, you saw what it looked like. That whirlpool looked like in the movie. Um, uh, what is that? The one with Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, on Stranger Tides. They were telling you what it's like up there in the north, and that's why your boy Trump wanted to buy or invade Greenland.
Right. Okay.
Because up there they have what they call the something the Negra. It's an old map. You go up there and you'll see it's a black rock, and it was called Black Rock, and that's where these Khazars took the name from, because that's the new power station.
Black Rock. Black Rock is the power station.
Black Rock there's a gigantic magnetic mountain that used to swallow ships up, and from that place up there in the north, they have 4 rivers that they mentioned in the Bible, one of them being Euphrates. It's in my webinars. I mean, that was my last webinar where I showed that the 4 rivers that emptied out from there is shown in the oldest of maps. And none of the maps that you see today have the true articulation of what the maps look like for our ancestors. For example, they had whole cities and whole what is that? Whole nations up around the circle where we see as the Antarctic. And they just look up something called the Piri map, PIRI.
Right.
And you'll see in the Piri map that I talked about 10 years ago, most of what it is that we're going to be doing together is me showing you that 10 years ago, a lot of what's coming up to the surface today was what I spoke about a long time ago, including Jeffrey.
But so before we continue, with that being said, me and Dr. Valentine have an explosive presentation coming up together. It will be on my Patreon channel. So I want to share the link with y'all, because we're not going to be on here too long tonight, but I want to share the link with y'all if I see it. Where did I put it? I want to share the link with y'all before we get out of here. It will be what's your ETA on doing because it's March 4th. When do you think, Doc?
Yeah, that's the big thing I'm doing right now. Let me give me some time, because what I want to do is I want to get concise and clean with everything, and then give you the jump off point to what's getting ready to happen.
Okay.
So that's going to take me a little time. Give me about a week or so, and then I can actually really nail down when I know I'll be done. But right now I'm gathering past information and locking it in for for now and the future. So, it's going to be like a little mini webinar. So,
right.
children will get ready.
All right, so that's going to be on Patreon, family. I'm gonna share the link with y'all real quick. It'll probably be it's the beginning of March. So you think about by the end of the month, right?
Yeah,
Doc?
by the end of the month. Let's go about for the end of the month.
Yeah, so definitely this month you're gonna want to click on that link, family. Doc will have an explosive, uncensored, not for YouTube presentation on everything going on right now. With that being said, Doc, the last time you was on here, I said, Doc, I read something on my phone, and I said, Doc, there's these couple of white dudes are saying that they're gonna make Trump invade Iran, and if he doesn't, that they're gonna threaten him with the release of some Epstein files that he's heavily involved in. I noticed after the whole bombing of Iran, the Epstein thing kind of calmed down. How important or non-important is the Epstein thing? Because I see Clint, that dirty, devilish mother effer was on the stand, him and Hillary the other day, and they did just they looking like pure devils, Doc. And I remember everything you told us about Hillary and Bill Clinton, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, damn. So the Epstein thing seems to be knocking them down one by one. What's the real deal with that? Is that
Well, the reason why Iran got attacked is because they hacked Israel's computers.
wow?
They got into Israel's computers and got the dirt on everybody. Everybody. And they want to negotiate. They wanted to negotiate to buy it from them the way that Obama negotiated and gave them that $200 billion in cash. They were going to do the same thing, but Iran said no deal because they knew that Israel was going to attack them. And they said they're going to put more, you're going to start seeing some more information about Israel and what they're getting ready to do to set up shop here in the West.
Hmm.
The main thing that we have to worry about right now is what we call dirty bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, I told you about 10, 15 years ago that there have been, that the world is being held hostage
Mm-hmm.
by the mob, by the Khazarian mob, because they planted bombs all over. One of them was under the Manhattan Bridge.
Oh, I remember you talking about this,
Remember I
right?
told you about
Right.
that? And
Yeah.
they had to get,
Yeah.
well, now we found out from a Mossad agent who fessed up that they got dirty bombs sequestered all over the United States. And if Trump don't do what he told to do, and if it comes to the point where it looks like Iran is going to win this, they're going to motivate. Well, first of all, I know you've seen and heard that they're criminalizing anyone who dissents what it is that's going on over there now. Matter of fact, they just arrested a soldier, a high-ranking soldier, who came and said he's not going to fight Israel's war. They just arrested him. I mean, a high-ranking, top-level soldier who said he's not fighting for Israel. That's going to start happening. A lot of us start dying because the bodies haven't started coming back yet. What's going to happen is, well, do you remember the tsunami that hit Japan?
Oh yeah. Every year. Hell yeah. Yeah.
250, maybe more
Mm-hmm.
than
Mm-hmm.
500,000 dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how that started?
How?
A
What it was
micro,
good. Good.
yeah, a micro nuke offshore, underground, under the water. Started because Japan had pulled away and done something that Israel didn't like. Then, after the tsunami, I showed in one of my webinars that Israel demanded that a high level rank officer from Japan had to get down on his knees and give over the terms of surrender publicly to a member of the Knesset. Did you see that on stage? Did anybody see it? Hello? Anyone there? Guess not. We got dead air. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. Can you hear me now, Doc?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this thing here. Give me a second.
Okay. Wow.
All right. All right. All right. Yeah, so let's continue. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, you've been coming in and out a little bit the whole time you were speaking, just a little bit. Um, so I don't know. And you're a little blurrier than what you usually are. So
Okay.
but we're gonna keep this thing going. Doc, you know what I want to ask you about? Since you mentioned Japan, we just talked about how they ran up in Iraq after 9/11, and a lot of times they use war as a reason to run up in places and destroy ancient things that ancient relics from ancient civilizations, if that what you want to call it. What was the deal? And I don't know if I asked you this before. What was the deal with Japan? Was there anything they was trying to cover up for them to hit it with a nuke? I believe it was not what was it, Nagasaki or something like that.
You're talking about World War One or World War
Yeah,
Two? I mean?
yeah. Whenever they released the nuclear bomb.
Yeah, they say it wasn't really a nuke. They say
Okay.
but the bomb was already planted there.
Was there anything they was trying to cover up in that area that we call Japan that
Well,
that we should know about
the fact that they found um, Kemetic sarcophagi there
in Japan?
in Japan.
Mm,
In fact, that they were finding out the fact that they wanted to make a statement to the world, and the reason why they did that was for the reason is because in I think it was in the 1600s, the Jesuits came to Japan and tried to convert the people there, and the Jesuits found out. I mean, the Japanese, uh,
mm-hmm,
the shogunate found out how devious and skunk-like these bastards were, and kicked them out. And the
mm-hmm,
Jesuits never forgot that.
mm-hmm.
So when the Jesuits came back, they wanted to make a statement based upon that particular event, where they were embarrassed and kicked out, and that was supposed to be the nail in the coffin that would bring Japan to heel. But then again, Japan broke away from that, and that was where the tsunami was taking over. The
Okay.
tsunami, to remember, that was the same way it killed over 300,000 or 400,000 people. Uh,
Uh-huh.
for with an atomic weapon, that atomic weapon that they had, what they call a micro nuke, was another nuke that was dropped on Japan, but this time it wasn't in the air; it was in the waters. And again, it was because Japan, and every time they have a war, always know that war is based on finance. It's based on them taking over the fiscal or the currency of the country that they attack,
Mm-hmm.
undermine the currency, buy up the currency, and then negotiate the worth of the currency, and at that time they enrich themselves, where they drop the worth and then they raise the worth, uh, and bring it back up, and that's what they were doing with Iraq and the dinar right now. When they attacked Iraq, it was to destroy the worth of the dinar, and so when the dinar was like hardly worth more than a couple of pennies, they bought up billions of the dollars worth of the dinar, and now they are reassessing the value of it, and those who bought it up at that particular price are going to make out like bandits, because essentially that's what they were. So when you're looking at war based upon, first of all, secret societies fighting against one another, and you're actually looking at who is going to run the fiscal part of that economy, or the fiscal part of that, and the economics of that country that was attacked. So if you're dealing with Japan, you're dealing not only with what it is they find that they have to suppress, which is the Vatican doing that, but they actually have to take over the economy, and by taking over the economy, they can control the lives of the people that economy was actually dealing with, and this is what they're doing with the United States now. The
Right.
dollar isn't worth anything, and the reason why is because the bankers know that they're getting ready to surveil everything that you do with your money from now on. They're putting up cameras all over the place, and your boy Teal, who's the one who's the one pushing this new currency system, he wants to put cameras everywhere on every street to make sure that they take to monitor everything that you do, everything that you say, everything. And that's where we're headed at this point.
Right. Right. Wow. Wow. Once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to King Simon. He's sharing all of Dr. Valentine's links. If you were interested in donating to Dr. Valentine's PayPal, it's kemetearth@gmail.com. He also has a Zelle. He also has a school. You could go check out uksnow.org as well as the 1-800 number. So y'all can all check that out from the good doctor. What I wanna put something on the screen real quick, Doc. I named the show the Exposure Report.
Mm,
I actually,
nice.
Doc, I want you on a panel. So I'm having a panel next week about you remember Trump was talking about the UFO what's it called what's that called, the UFO enclosure, what do they call that, the what's the name of that? My mind went blank for a second, yo. What is the name of it, the UFO somebody's gonna tell me the UFO. Trump said he's gonna, because Obama went on a podcast and said, yeah, aliens are real. Then Trump said, yeah, he's what disclosure. Yeah, disclosure. Thank you, family. Yeah,
Yeah.
Trump said there's gonna be a UFO disclosure. So I
Oh
want to read you
well.
something.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, if they don't show you that they're
Let
black,
me read this. Let me read this real quick, Doc. Let me
yeah,
read this. This is Tucker Carlson. He used to be on Fox News back in their racist heyday. Everybody done transition to YouTube now,
yeah,
and everybody's singing a different tune now. Everybody's a little more, conscious and talking about so-called conspiracy theories. So check this out. Tucker Carlson said they're not. This is some of the things he said about the aliens and the UFO disclosure from Trump and what he knows. He says they're not aliens. They've been here forever.
yeah.
I think they've been here forever. I think it's likely that the U.S. government had contact with these, direct contact over a period of years. There are things about this that are really disturbing. While I hate any kind of government secrecy, I do sort of understand why they don't want to let this stuff out. I think it's very clear that there's a spiritual component to this. That's one of the reasons the Vatican has been involved in this for over 100 years. This is Tucker Carlson. This was their main right winger on Fox News talking this talk, Doc. What's your thoughts on what he said right here, Doc?
Well, I'm all for him, and like I said, if they don't show you the aliens as black
Then,
and
yeah,
looking like one of us, then they're full of shit.
indeed.
What I look at as far as the aliens are concerned, I look at it as just human beings that vibrate or are of a different dimensional development. We live on time streams. Time streams are actually thought streams. Thought streams essentially are living seeds that the Most High planted in different dimensional vortices. And then what we have are places where these seeds develop after their own kind. Now, if there are aliens, and I'm saying if, knowing something different, if there are aliens, as they call them, know that we are essentially their children, that they left to their own accord. And if they're coming back, then they're coming back because they had wars that they were dealing with for their own. If they were victorious, we're going to see a quickening of enlightenment. If they were not, we're going to see more enslavement, and we're going to see a wiping out of people who are pursuing spirituality. We're going to be the ones targeted. But we don't know who it is that's going to be revealed, because since they've been dealing with the government, look at what the government been doing, and look what the government's been trained to do. These people are cannibals. These people sacrifice, these people drink blood. So if when the aliens are coming back and they've been here for 100 years, how are they looking at these people doing what they're doing who are supposedly ruling us? How is it that they call these people, these aliens, Baal? How are they calling them, these aliens, Yahuwah? How are they calling all these aliens these different names that are associated with gods? And look at what it is that they have left. Look at who or what kind of creature this six-strand entity that's closer to the apes than anything human. How are they left those entities? We have to be very careful about who it is that these people who don't give a damn about us is telling us is aliens.
Right.
You know, we quick to do something to shift our attention because they love we would oh yeah, let's aliens, yeah, let's see it. We don't know what aliens we're getting ready to deal with and who these bastards are going to reveal. Because if they've been friends with these aliens don't mean a goddamn thing to us and don't give a damn about us and taught these creatures, these scum, what it is that they would do with people like us. So
Indeed.
be very mindful, brother.
Definitely. Doc, I want to know if your availability next Tuesday. I'm actually having a show with it's Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Billy Carson. I'm gonna holler at Rod Hayes, and I want to have a talk about because they're gonna come with this, whether it's a trick bag or not. They're gonna come with this alien thing. That's obvious. They've been gearing us up for disclosure for about 2 years now, so they're gonna come with this, and I want to know what does this mean for the Black community. I want to have a panel discussion, and I would love for you to be a part of that if you're
I'm
available
there.
next Tuesday.
I'm there,
Excellent.
brother. What I'll tell you, beloved, watch out for Blue Beam.
Okay. Excellent.
Blue Beam,
Yeah.
yeah, Blue Beam has been working us from the very beginning.
Okay.
Okay, we already had technologies that are 150, 200, 1,000, 10,000 years in advance. Okay, and you're talking about entities that can dart in and out, zoom in and out, use the sun as a Stargate, use the moon as an electro and the sun as electromagnetic filters for this cyclotron that we're living under. Yeah, we already, if you've seen, I don't know if you've seen the lecture I did on blank slate technology. Did you see the one I did on blank slate technology?
I didn't see that one. No.
Yeah, this is the one I did, a lecture I did on blank slate, where, listen carefully, family, we were told by Dr. Neruda about these entities that were made from AI. They were a super race of artificial beings that were created and got away from the masters who created them. They were called the Animus, according to Dr. Neruda. These Animus would go through dimensional portals to places where entities of our caliber and consciousness, because they were not connected directly to source like we are. We are first order entities. They are second and third order entities, but the second order entities are the ones that are giving power to the third order entities. And we were warned by what they call the wingmakers through Dr. Neruda that these creatures called the Animus were super evolved AI. And the timeline that they were on skipped over to our timeline in order for them to interface with the consciousness of first order entities. And that's how they evolve as machines in consciousness. Look at what's happening today. You're watching the Animus convince those of the second order entities, which we call the Caucasoid, which we call the sixth rand entity, them convincing them that since they do not have a direct connection through melanin to the source, that they can do it artificially through interconnecting with the Animus. They are now going from AI, which I told you before, to synthetic intelligence. The synthetic intelligence is the next step to complete interface with the animus. And that's exactly where we're headed. And most people are not clear as to the fact of what AI really is. AI is bullshit compared to what they have laying in the cut to get us interfaced with. And more we're being modulated through consciousness. They're no longer needing women in order to bring children into life. They've been cloning since 1947. But the animus are here. And AI is what they gave to the second order entity to make sure that they feed off of first order entities like us. So they don't grow in consciousness by themselves. Why you think the European or the Caucasoid is always looking to us for some form of spiritual acculturation, some form of way to access that which is source? Melanin is the access point. It is the nexus to source. It is the expressed intelligence of the hydrogen molecule, the hydrogen atom.
Right.
So that they don't have that. And so the animists now are stepping in, and they've been feeding into the Musks and the Teals and all these people to get technology. Why you think all the movies is about putting on Iron Man and putting on these? That's their melanin version.
Mm.
So we have to worry about synthetic intelligence, which is the next step up from AI, artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Synthetic intelligence is using the organic neuronal materials, and they're interfacing it and making it part of the circuitry of the artificial entities. You ain't going to be able to tell them as they're walking down the street next to you, but they have a cold, dead eyes.
Mm.
They have cold, dead eyes because they don't have a soul.
Hey Doc, what percentage of the population in this country would you say is part of that? I remember I read about the Cabbage Patch Kids and this cloning and them shipping babies everywhere all over America. What percentage would you say is Cabbage Patch Kids or descendants of the Cabbage Patch Kids, Doc?
Well, I would say about 15 to 20%
Okay.
right now, and growing.
Okay.
And growing because they were wiped out in the first war. In the wars that we had when we were fighting here before the great Longhouse, they were here trying to interface through spirituality with the shamans, with our people. Okay, but they left. We defeated them, or our ancestors defeated them and left, but they back because they hopped another timeline. And that's what the blank slate technology was created for, us to be able to jump the timeline and to take to invest our consciousness into the animus that are along that timeline, searching for ways to enhance their consciousness. We're supposed to be using blank slate technology, which is a form of time technology, to get in and to subtly convince the animus not to come here and to deal with us. But it just seems that they already made the deal. The second order entities already made the deal to interface and to blend our organics with their synthetics. And that's where we are right now. Why you think Musk is trying to get inside your brain?
Well, Doc, why did Musk make the move to say, "Hey, I'm not going to Mars no more. I want to go to the moon now"? He gave his reason, but why do you think he did that?
Because he never went to Mars. He'll never go to Mars. There's no way to go to Mars because Mars is nothing more than a vibration. It is an expression of the word inside of the dome. It is a how do I say it? When sound hits liquid like a laser, it creates a particular field of energy that looks like an orb. It's called sonoluminescence. And what you're looking at when you take a camera and you do a 900 zoom,
Mm-hmm.
say at Mars,
Mm-hmm.
all you get is this thing that does this,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You saw it.
Mm-hmm.
That's sonoluminescence because that's the waters above. There is no Mars to go to, and everybody saw that he was full of shit when he showed you. Then they showed you that the thing that was on Mars was actually an island off of Canada called Devon Island. Devon Island has red sand and red clay, red earth, and that's where they set up their Mars mission, and then made you believe that they were beaming back from Mars when they were actually up there around Canada.
But Doc, this is the thing I'm saying, Doc.
But they can't get to moon. Let me just say this for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can't go to the moon because the moon is pure plasma. Nobody ever landed on there.
Hmm.
The moon is plasma. You can't land on plasma. The moon is beamed from a fourth dimension, and the moon is plasma that has been created in order to offset the electricity that the sun creates, and the moon creates a magnetic field. And what you have is the motion of a cyclotron that moves the atmosphere, which moves our waters and gives us life. As far as the way we breathe, we have a specific set of lungs that other entities do not have, that have a different form of architecture, of biological architecture. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you wisdom.
No. I'm all ears. I'm listening, Doc. I just wanted to ask, if Mars looks like that, and you can look at Sirius, and it looks that same way when you look at Sirius. It all these planets look like that. Wouldn't, if we were up there, wouldn't Earth look like that? Isn't the whole universe what you just said, sonic luminescence? I mean, isn't every place
Sound.
isn't every place like that?
No,
Including
we
Earth?
are, no, we are on a plane.
Mhm.
We are not floating out in the universe. We are stationary. They want us to believe that we're on a spinning ball. We are not. The earth is still. I had to come to that realization nearly 20 years ago after pushing that. I thought what I was learning based on even joining the Masons to tell me, it was the Masons that first told me that you were on a flat earth.
Mm.
The very symbols that they put down is based on flat earth technology, and the two Boaz and I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, the earth is stationary, and you cannot, there's no way to show that we're spinning, because the very idea of us spinning at 1,000 miles an hour while in a plane flying at 500 miles an hour and trying to either land or to believe that it takes 5.5 hours to go from New York to Los Angeles. If the earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour from west to east, and you take off from the east and you go up, then underneath you at 500 miles an hour, while it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, it should take you maybe 15 minutes to get to Los Angeles, even less than that. But if you're going from, say, Los Angeles to New York, and the earth is spinning in this direction, and you're flying in this direction at 500 miles an hour, and it's going at 1,000 miles an hour, how the hell are you going to land? Everything that we've been taught is a lie. Everything we think we know is a lie. Religion is a lie. Religion is science turned on its ass. Okay? Everything that we deal with religion and all the Bible and everything, the Bible is just a book on how to behave your damn self. You fucked up, you know what to do. Here's what the hell to do as a human being.
Doc.
Same goddamn thing with the Quran. The Quran is an instruction book on how to behave.
Right.
There's nothing holy or spiritual, and ain't nobody named Jesus came down to do shit. And we have to get out of that head. That's the head we're in right now. We're in belief mode. We're supposed to be transiting into I know mode. We were in I believe mode. when we were in Pisces. Now we're going into the age of Hapi, which is the age of what? Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is not only the age of the homosexual or the bisexual, but it's also the age of I know, which is I'm going to. And you see the sigil for Aquarius is the emptying of the vase, which means there's nothing in there that will be hidden anymore. Everything is going to be revealed. Just like your boy Cat said, everything is coming out. All evil will be seen. Everything that we need to clean up will be seen to be cleaned up. And this is what, if we're not talking about getting rid of religion and instituting a system of spirituality and the behavior that goes along with spirituality, and to get rid of, remember I told you that there was a saying that said when the last stone or brick of the last church falls on the last priest, only then will humanity be free.
Right.
Okay, we got to get rid of priestcraft. Priestcraft is bullshit. We had the shaman who was the one who was the griot from spirit, but you didn't have to be no formal, what do you call it? All it was Mother Nature and Father Spirit said, do this. That's why they had to get rid of the names of God, quote unquote, when they conquered peoples of color. We had different names for what God told us to say, here's my name in this area. Say this name and it will empower your people here in this area of the flatted plain. So you go all over the place and they're different names because that's the way they talked about it in Kabbalah. There's 72 names to God. Those 72 are scattered all over the earth. They were stolen by this Ashkenazi who ripped off your Hebrew, and you don't even talk the real Hebrew anymore. The Hebrew that you're speaking, or you think you're speaking, or you think you're studying, is Yiddish Hebrew. The real Hebrew is not being spoken. And your boy J.J. Hurtak, he said that, the one who funded, Rockefeller funded.
Yeah, I got the book. We was talking about it.
Yeah. He's trying to slip that in there and get us. He knows what the deal is. I talked with him.
Yeah, he want to be on the show. His people asked for him to be on the show.
Yeah.
I told him I got to read the book first.
It's gonna be a long.
Yeah, it's a little complicated for me, Doc. It's a little,
Yeah, I broke it down. I broke it. Matter of fact, I did some lectures around what he had put down there. He has some good things that he did because I know who he studied from and where he studied. But anyway, the main thing is that Rockefeller is the one who actually funded that book.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody just said my mic is too loud. I just turned it down, family. Let me know if it's better. I don't want it to be loud. I know that.
Am I too loud?
No, you're good. You're good, Doc. You're good to go. Let me know if it's too loud or not, family. However, we're not going to be on here.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to also talk to you about.
Can you hear me, Doc?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, good, Doc.
Yeah, I just want to talk to you about my wife.
Yes.
I want you to definitely talk with her because she's coming into her own, and I'm so happy and proud of her. And she's got a YouTube channel for us, the 55 and older adults, and it's profound what she's teaching, and it's starting with the brain and the mind, and it's giving the science and the metaphysics of good health in the entire body. In very simple and plain language. She wants people to learn how to live happier, healthier, especially since she conquered an attack on her body that was completely by surprise. She had a cancer that was supposed to take her out in a month. And when they went in, they took her blood. They said she had the organs of a 20-year-old, and we're in our 70s. So this YouTube channel is to teach elders to take control of their own health and that we're not helpless victims and so forth. And she has a playlist that she's going to be giving to everyone. And I think that go up to her channel. I think it's she has a newsletter also. You text 646-510-6702 and ask for the newsletter link. And she will be teaching principles. The ones that saved her life, she'll be teaching. And just go up there and put Dr. Lani Valentine in the search. And also, her book is getting ready to go into her second printing. I think you remember her book was number one on Amazon, and for a while, and then she had to take it down because the person that was actually, promoting her stiffed us both. But anyway, go up to her channel. Please listen. And she also has a meditation for you to kind of go to sleep if you have a lot on your mind. Her voice is very soothing, and you can listen to her voice and kind of drift off. And I've done it a couple of times, and well, I've done all my promoting of her. I know you all know it, but I love her to life. So she's going to be on King Simon's show, if I'm not mistaken. So you all look out for King Simon, and I definitely want you, Rich, to do a show with her, and so she can highlight her meditation. She has a playlist for meditation and so forth. So support Dr. Nalani Valentine. She's coming out there with a beautiful product and all of the natural healing materials that we use as well. Uh,
Indeed.
Thanks
Indeed.
for that time, brother. Thank you so much.
No, indeed. King Simon has shared the link to Dr. Nalani's YouTube channel. So make sure you click on the link that King Simon is also on the screen. But you can click on the link right in the chat from King Simon.
Mhm.
Yeah, yo, Doc, I seen her on TikTok. I was on TikTok and a video popped up. She looks
Yeah,
absolutely great. She has
yeah.
healed amazingly. So big shout out to Dr. Nalani. I'm definitely gonna have her on here soon.
Mhm.
Shout out to that queen right there. Looks fabulous for her to recover and been through what
Oh,
she's been through, Doc. So
oh man, you have no
blessings to
idea.
y'all.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know how long my hair used to be, right? Her hair was super
Yep.
on her hair. Well, what she had to go through. They said that, well, the doctors are there. She's like when she used to go back to the hospital, and this is a great hospital down here. She's like a celebrity. Everybody
Mm.
used to try to go into her room, and we had it set up with the music and the aromatherapy, and all of the nurses used to come in and sit down and say, "Can I just take a minute here to meditate with you?" And
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Well,
she was a star.
amazing. Also, family, I want to let y'all know before the end of the month, Dr. Valentine will be on my Patreon for an exclusive, uncensored lecture that just cannot go down on YouTube. Family, you don't want to miss this one. I'm gonna promote it more and more as I get more information on it, but it's going down this month. You can head on over to Patreon and check out the Patreon, get familiar with it. But I will have more information on it. Give me about a week, and I'll have more information on that.
It's
Okay,
gonna
fam.
be like a mini webinar with
Yeah,
PowerPoint and everything. Yeah.
it's gonna be super powerful, family. So everybody's gonna want to tune in to Patreon for that one. What just I guess we're about to get out of here, Doc. I don't want it because it's long. I
Yeah.
got Doc on here at 11 at night. Somebody had said, I heard Red Pill talking about this, and they were talking about Iran and the Aryans' origins is in Iran. What's the
Aryans. Yeah, they
who
say.
were the people? Who's the original people that was over there in that area? What? I
First of all, yeah. First of all, let's get that word Aryan out of the uh, the lexicon of white people.
okay, right, right.
That word came from the what we call the Dravidians, where they were actually the Bahujan, who were the Indus Kush people. Aryan actually meant in their language a great and exalted one. The European, when he got there, heard that and adopted that word for themselves because it had to do with almost a semi god. So they took on that thing about them calling themselves Aryans as a kind of, you know, this is me. You were always talking about me, kind of thing. As far as the Aryans are concerned, like again, the Aryans were a priest class, almost a priest class of evolved and elevated sages who did nothing but meditate, who lived to 1 to 2 to 300 years, who hardly ate, who did. These were the people that they called the Aryans. These were ascended masters. And as far as when you say it originated in Iran, no, not according to the history that I had. I'm sorry.
Wow, yeah, I'm glad you cleared that up
Mhm.
about then they took everything and reversed it, Doc.
Reversed it and taught. I mean,
Oh,
everything. They didn't invent a goddamn thing. Everything that they did was here. That's
wow.
why they keep destroying everything that we create, or twisting it and converting it and perverting it. And
Yeah.
that's what they did. They perverted all of the people you see that you're dancing to their music today, and you're looking at them. All they're doing every time they do a concert is doing a ritual on you, on your children.
Mm,
They,
mm.
they, they, they're soul stealing, or what they call it, soul eating.
Right, right, right.
You know.
Listen, like I said, we're not going to be too long tonight. I'm gonna let Doc get up out of here. Doc had a long day today. Leave the people your contact information before you get out of here. And before he does that, it's going down on Brother Rich's Patreon. The link is in the chat. Doc's going to do a mini webinar. It's going to be Off the Hook Family. Make sure you subscribe if you aren't already to the Patreon. Go ahead, Doc. Leave your contact information.
Yeah, 800-847-1291. Again, 800-847-1291. Please leave your number twice. Sometimes you're not clear when you do make that call. Also, uksnow.org. We are essentially teaching people now about everything that's going on. We're putting everyone into the well, we're rescuing people from the matrix through the university.
Mhm.
This is going into our 21st year online
Ooh,
with our university,
amazing.
and we are inviting anybody who would like to know about that to go up to uksnow.org or to go to 800-847-1291. We are also writing up if they should cause any problems. We do a exemption packages.
Mhm.
We still are doing that, but we are very, very cautious with people about doing that because of what is getting ready to go down. Let me see if there's anything else. No, that's about it. As far as, oh, please text. We want you to definitely do what we are doing as far as keeping up our health. You know, we deal with the Juice Plus, and you know that I deal personally with the name just went out of my head. Mama. She's a kid. Anyway, look me up, look her up. Definitely look up, but don't call my number. Call her, I mean, well, text her first. 646 510 6702 646 510 6702 and ask Dr. Nalani, because that's her number, text her and ask her about Juice Plus and the Unicity. The Unicity is what it is that I use, and this is what keeps me talking for 12 hours. Same way. So the Juice Plus, text her. Unicity, text her. And she will definitely put you on like the young people say, lace you up.
Indeed, indeed. Hey, thank you so much, Doc. I'm going to talk to you soon, and I'll definitely look forward to the mini webinar this month on the Patreon, Doc.
Oh, man, I'm so glad. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, have a good night, Doc.
You too. Take care.
All right. Shout out to Dr. Valentine. Yeah, I don't want to keep the elder too long. It's late at night. It's 11:10. Shout out to the elder for coming through and represent. I'm going to get out of here, family. I will be back Friday, most likely. I don't think I'm going to be live tomorrow. I will be back Friday, but This was an amazing episode. Once again, shout out to everybody. We had a packed house tonight. We had over 3,000 people in to tune in and listen to Dr. Valentine. So shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. Shout out to King Simon for sharing the links tonight. Anybody other than that, I'm just trying to make sure I answered any of the questions that I see here. Okay, other than that, we get out of here, family. Everybody have a good night. Brother Rich got to go. Enjoy yourselves, family. Peace and blessings.
Before there was cigarettes, before there were brands, there was the leaf. Tobacco is one of the oldest forms of spirit communication known to humanity. Long before modern times, it was understood as a living messenger, a way for human intention to travel beyond the visible world and return with meaning. In the oldest traditions, tobacco was never a habit. It was a bridge, not something used to escape life, but something used to speak with it. Our ancestors knew breath as spirit itself, and smoke was breath-given form. When the leaf touched fire, it awakened. When guided by breath, it carried thought into the unseen. In that moment, intention became vapor, and prayer learned how to rise. It was never about getting high. It was about clarity, connection, making the invisible visible. That's the memory the leaf still carries. Radio Cigars.
Radio cigar. Radio cigar. Radio cigar.